Hello everyone. Welcome back to the second unit of academic writing, genres and types of academic writing. This is me, Sufna Savior from the Department of English, Carmel College, Mala. Today we are going to look into the different approaches to thesis writing. First one is expository, then is descriptive, third one is analytical, then we have persuasive approach, and the last one is narrative and critical approach. These are some of the approaches to thesis writing. When you write a thesis, you have to adopt a particular approach. So these are some of the approaches. You can choose one among from these different approaches. The style or the approach of your writing depends on the nature of the assignment, your discipline, audience and purpose. Understanding the instructional word is necessary for selecting the approach to writing in an academic assignment. So when you are going to write an assignment or when you are going to write a thesis, you need to understand the question word or the instructional word in the question. So if it is analyzed, you have to adopt analytical approach. So you need to understand what the question instructional word is, and you have to design your essay or your writing accordingly. The first one is expository approach. It is used to explain, inform, define or describe a subject. When you have to inform something, when you have to explain a particular thing, when you have to define a particular concept, or when you have to describe a subject, you will choose expository approach. It focuses on facts and figures rather than opinions and arguments, and there is a logical ordering of subject matter. Everything is arranged in an order, so we can follow it quickly. Commonly used in textbooks, business, technical and scientific writings. So expository approach is commonly used in these academic writings, that is in textbooks, business and technical and scientific writings. We use expository approach since it uses a logical ordering of things, and it explains things, and it informs people about a particular topic or a particular thing or a particular material or a particular concept or idea. Second one is descriptive approach. It uses visual words and descriptions to enable visualizing, figurative or poetic use of language. So when you write a thesis in humanities or in literature, we will use descriptive approach because we don't need figures or facts in a literature thesis, but we need descriptions and we need a figurative use of language. So if we want to write such a thesis, definitely we will use descriptive approach because it uses visual words and descriptions to enable visualizing, figurative and poetic use of language. Third one is persuasive approach. It aims at convincing readers to accept the writer's point of view. It persuades people to believe that this is true. Presentation of facts, arguments and findings in a logical manner. Things are arranged in a logical manner. Ample use of evidence to substantiate arguments or facts. The fourth one is analytical approach. It may contain elements of exposition, persuasion and description. So the fourth one can be defined as a combination of the previous approaches, that is expository approach, persuasive approach and descriptive approach. It focuses on organizing facts or information into categories, groups, parts and types or relationships. It examines relationships of ideas or parts of something, and it provides possible situations and alternative responses and compares and contrasts. So it divides things into different parts and analyzes them. A whole thing is divided into different categories and they are analyzed, and it compares between different parts of the same, and it contrasts between these parts, and it reaches at a better conclusion, and it provides alternative responses, that is analytical approach, a cross-section method, a bisection method. Fifth one is critical or evaluative approach. To evaluate the merits or to point out inadequacies of an existing work and provide alternatives, for example, critique of a journal, article, or review of literature. So you need to give a critique or critical analysis of something. You will adopt a critical approach. You are evaluating something. Brings out the strength and weaknesses of an existing research. It contains elements of persuasive writing. So it is talking about an existing product. So we are reviewing or we are critically analyzing a research, a previous research or a previous product or an existing product or research. It presents more than one point of view, including the writer's view. So it gives more than one view. It gives the writer's view, it gives the supporting view, it gives the opposing view. So it gives a number of views from which the reader can choose one among from these views. Narrative or reflective approach. It presents a story, a personal experience, ideas through narration, using reflection to document experience. It is more a kind of subjective writing, where we talk about a personal story or a personal experience, and here reflection is used to document experience. We use reflection, or we remember things and write about them. It often gives life experiences of the writer as a model for learning, or realization can be written in first person. So here we write like I was traveling through Canada, or I was traveling or I was living in London. So here the thing is narrated in first person narrative. So, and engages the reader by the use of the first person, and conclusion with a personal view. There is no objective view. Everything is subjective. According to my thoughts, or according to me, it is like this. I'm not thinking about the objective world, objective view, but I'm just thinking about my subjective opinion, and everything is narrated through my personal narrative. Rhetorical modes in writing. There are different rhetorical modes often converge. Rhetorical modes often converge in the approaches listed above. We have listed so many approaches. We have a descriptive approach, persuasive approach, narrative approach. But when you write something, different rhetorical modes often converge. We can't write an essay exclusively on descriptive mode. You have to converge or combine 2 or 3 different modes. An essay can be written using any of the above approaches, and they are likely to contain different rhetorical modes or strategies for taking the essay forward. So here, rhetorical modes and key function. Narration, recounting events. Description, to describe or portray people, things and places. Illustration or exemplification, explaining with examples. Division and classification, to explain categories and parts, analyzing a thing as parts or categories. Process analysis, to explain how something works and to show how something can be done. Comparison and contrast, to show similarities and differences. Cause and effect, to explain using reasons and results. Definition, to explain what you mean by something. Defining means when you use a particular word, this is what you mean by that. Argumentation and persuasion, to make claims and substantiate them convincingly. You want to convince someone that this is true or this is false, this method is false or this practice is false. So that is what we do in argumentation and presentation. So with this, we can wind up today's class and the second unit of academic writing. Thank you. Have a good day.